know that whatever good that happens to you, it is coming from us, from Allah. Whatever bad that is happening to you, it is coming from your ego. Because man has been given the capacity to think, now he must think and to separate what is coming from Allah and what is coming from the ego. He cannot now unthinkingly saying it is Allah's fault. He cannot now stubborn like donkey blame everyone else except for himself. Everything else, then pointing it to our Creator. Because he has that capacity to think. Like what we said last night, even angels have not been given this capacity to think, to figure out, to understand. They're given an order and they do, unquestioned. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us an order. He's not forcing us. But He gives us that capacity that He didn't even give to the angels or to the animals or any other thing, to us, for us to know, understand that if it is good for us, we should do it. If it is bad for us, we should leave from it. So now you ask the question, you say, you know you're fighting against the ego, you do something and you fail, you follow your ego, then how do you fight against that? I say, fight is over. That fight is over. Now, when that fight is over, sit somewhere and ask for Allah's forgiveness. Don't ask, beg and cry. Ask Allah not to punish you. These days, nobody talks about the fear of Allah. Everybody talks about the love of Allah. Love and love and love, but there is no fear of Allah. That's why everyone becomes very fearless to commit all the wrong things. But to commit good things, to stand up for haqq, they fear that. They fear that. They're embarrassed by that. To say the truth, to look like the truth, to do the truth, to stand up. Not even to change the truth with your hands, not even to speak the truth with your tongue, but to at least in your heart to know what is true and what is not true. We become so weak that we say, no, everything's acceptable. So, the fear of Allah, it is important, because Jannat, it is haqq, it is true. Jahannam is also true. Nobody talks about Jahannam these days. Oh, if you talk about a little bit of Jahannam and the fear of Allah and the punishment, immediately they pull out the boogeyman. You know boogeyman? They pull out from wherever it is, they pull it out. ISIS. You speak like this, ISIS. Then they back off. Then we say, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. ISIS. You see? ISIS saying all that. Never mind the ISIS, MISIS, it is their own invention. They invented that and they fed it until it became fat and monstrous and they cannot control it. Never mind that they have taken all the teachings of the noble pureness of Islam and they've twisted it. Doesn't matter, because now Allah does not rule with fear, but mankind, tyrants, they rule with fear. So now they put fear into everyone's hearts, so people cannot think straight because they fear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, don't be a tyrant, don't be a zalim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, I have forbidden zulm, tyranny to myself. So don't be a tyrant. And our responsibility is to know. Don't just look, oh, this government is tyrant, this leader is tyrant. No. Everyone, we have that characteristic. To look and to understand through thinking, how am I being a tyrant? How am I being a tyrant to myself? How am I being a tyrant to my mother, to my father? How am I being a tyrant to my children? More importantly, how am I being a tyrant to my Lord? Everyone misses that. As if Allah doesn't matter. The Prophet doesn't matter. How am I being a tyrant to my Lord? That He is giving me everything and He's being so merciful to me, and I don't even remember Him. And I don't say thank you sincerely. And I don't sit and just to be with Him. What about being a tyrant to the Prophet ﷺ? If you look down on any sunnah, you're being a tyrant to the Prophet ﷺ because he came to bring the sunnah. And Islam, it is through his sunnah. Islam without his sunnah is outside of Islam. Which is why in that time of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, there were people who took bayat, who says the shahada, but they were not following the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and they were being punished for that. There's one group who says, we take shahadat, we do everything, but we don't want to give zakat. That is against Sharia and against sunnah. That is wrong. There's going to be a big poison and danger in that. Either you change, you become good according to this way, or else this idea you must finish and we must finish you. There are some who are saying, we take shahadat, we pray 5 times a day, but we don't believe that we have to have a Khalifah, which, by the way, 99.9% of the Muslims today believe that you should not have a Khalifah. So what we said in the khutbah, you think the problems of today, 21st century, it is new challenges that never before we have seen in 1400 years? What challenges? Let me tell you what challenges. A modern day Genghis has not descended on the Muslims yet. To burn our libraries, to destroy our civilization, and to kill men, women, and child, and to make mountains, hills out of their skulls. We have not suffered and known the challenges yet. All the challenges that we are facing today, that they say this is new, has never been done before, it's only because you didn't look back to see how our predecessors, how our ancestors, the people before us, how they dealt with it. Because you are not people of sunnah, you're not people of tradition, you are people of bid'ah, you're people of innovation. So when you start making up your own religion, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So now, the fear, it is everywhere. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not rule with fear. Especially with this ummah, He has given us intelligence and the wisdom and the knowledge of all 124,000 prophets and their ummah. Every prophet, everything that they went through with their nation is an example in front of us so that we can guide ourselves properly and not repeat those mistakes. So what makes us to repeat those mistakes? What makes us to repeat those mistakes? What makes us to say, okay, I'm fighting against my ego, but I just can't help it and I just do it. What makes us to repeat those mistakes? There is heedlessness. There is definitely stubbornness. There's definitely arrogance. There's not caring. So we repeat those mistakes. And if we don't come around, Allah is saying, if you don't come around to ask for forgiveness and to go on the straight way again, wait for the punishment to reach to you. We're committing wrong actions. We're committing wrong intentions, you and me, every single day. For a believer, we should sit down and ask for forgiveness for that. But not just, as the Shaykh Efendi is saying in the khutbah, Not just to pull your tasbih, your prayer beads and say astaghfirullah, 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 but really to think, why am I saying Allah forgive me for? What did I do? I did this. Why did I do it? You want to question? Question yourself. Don't question. You have questions for everyone. You have questions for your Lord, but you never question yourself. You trust yourself. You say to yourself, I hear you and I obey you. We say that to our ego, but we don't say it to Allah. But the believers, we say Samina wa Ata'na to Allah. They'll sit and think, why am I repeating that? Why do I do it again? When you say Astaghfirullah and you think, that way, not only when you come to that road again and that block happens again, you will have more knowledge on how to deal with that. More support will be given to you. But because you're doing it, Allah may pull His punishment away from you. Because what is the purpose of punishment? What is the purpose of punishment? The purpose of punishment is to say that every action that you do has consequences. It either builds something or it destroys something. You do good actions, it builds something. It builds for you, it builds those around you, and it builds your paradise. If you do wrong actions with wrong intentions, it destroys you, others around you, and destroys your paradise. What it builds is building fire for you in the hell. So punishment is knowing that there are consequences. And that consequence, when you're doing something wrong, is that there is going to be some violence, some destruction somewhere. You cannot say why it has to be. You cannot now smack someone and then say why you have to feel pain and why you have to feel angry at me. This is not logical, this is unthinking. Now if a person who thinks he knows that his actions is going to bring some consequences, now he's going to be very careful. He's doing some things, he knows those are the consequences. But he's not arrogant or stubborn. He's pulling back and he's saying, forgive me, please, please don't punish me. And not only that, he's running to do something good. This is ayat, this is hadith. You do something wrong, run to do something right. Run to fix it. Don't just sit on your lazy behind and just say, I say astaghfirullah, so what? Some violence has already been committed, whether it is to you or to others. You've already destroyed something. Some nur is taken out from you. Now run to fix it. You say, I don't feel like it. You don't feel like it, then that violence is going to touch you. You want to avert it. You want to run away from it. You want to protect yourself from that. Run to do something good. Now, in order to have this kind of thinking, you cannot be angry. You cannot be stubborn. You cannot be arrogant. You cannot be. You have to be humble and you have to be very sincere and you have to be very true to yourself to say, yes, it is my fault. Not to point out to others to say, I did this because this one told me to do, because this one didn't do, that's why I'm doing this. Some they're saying, yes, I know I'm wrong, I did that, but this one did it. Once you're doing that, it's like a man who takes one step forward and 3 steps back. Doesn't matter. You know that's exactly what is going to happen on Judgment Day. Every single one is going to blame Shaitan. They're not going to blame themselves. They're going to blame Shaitan to say, Shaitan made me to do it. Satan made me to do it. They say in Islam, no. You don't get off so easily to say Satan did it. Because Shaitan does not have any power on you. The only power he has is to whisper, to make confusion, to give you waswas. For a believer, shaitan doesn't have any power on you. Because you are clear and you see. The believer looks at the nur of Allah and he knows what is coming from haqq and what is coming from batil. He doesn't have all the facts, it doesn't matter. His spiritual instinct, his heart is going to say, I don't feel right doing this. He's going to be aware. Shaitanic people telling him, shaitanic systems, he's going to be aware. His heart will start working. And he's going to understand. Shaitan only has the power to whisper to you, to suggest to you, to give you some confusion. On Judgment Day, we're all going to blame Shaitan, and Shaitan is going to say to Allah, I never forced them to do anything. You ever see or you ever hear people, they're doing things because Shaitan put a gun to their head and forcing them to do it? It's only how you're going to control that dial. This is like a radio station, you know. Transmission is coming all the time here. You're controlling that dial. Which station you want to turn to? Shaitan station is there. Just turn to Shaitan station. Is there? Shaitan, 24 hours. You said, no, I'm going to turn to the Prophet station. You can turn that too. Some people, they're turning on the Prophet station, but they put it on mute. They don't hear anything. They are, meaning people who are in tariqat, people who are doing good, but they block their heart. They don't want to see themselves. They're just doing everything like a habit, like a ritual. Some, they are on Shaitan station and they are turning up the volume very loud. So how are you going to work this? This is what tariqat is going to teach you. It must. You're going to see what is coming. You're going to see what is around. And you're going to pull back. You don't have all the facts. Doesn't matter. You don't have all the intelligent words to argue or to debate. Don't argue. Don't debate. Nothing. Now is the time not to argue or to debate. Pull yourself back. Lakum dinukum waliyattin. To you your religion and to me mine. Are you happy where you are? Yes. Are you happy where you're going? Yes. Are you walking on that way? Yes. Are you happy with your progress? No, but I'm trying to. Then you have the hands of the awliya Allah leading you, holding. You hold on to them. So the person who asks and tries to fix himself, asks for forgiveness and tries to fix himself, wisdom will come to them. Then that is the time when the wrong things that you have done because you fixed yourself and you become very ashamed. You're not nostalgic about your wrong things. I see some people, they gather together, they stop doing all wrong things. Yes, very good, mashallah. Allah pulled them out, yes. They clean themselves up. But if they have opportunity to talk about their wrong things in the past, they talk about it. They love it. They laugh about it. Oh, I used to do this and this and this. Oh, you did? Yeah, man, I did. They start bragging with each other. What are you doing? What are you doing? That means inside your heart, you still love it. You're not ashamed of it. You don't have to show shame to people. Show shame only to Allah. In fact, those ones who show shame and shy and in public, be careful. It's very easy to trick the public now, don't you know? You're feeling so bad, something bad, or you feel horrible, you want to, or you take your picture and you just smile like this, you put it, and everybody thinks you're having the best day. Never mind horrible things that happen to your family. You show them cutting a birthday cake, everyone thinks that you're the best family, having the best happiness. It's very easy to fake. Because people are not looking beyond that. We have fallen so low. We stop thinking. Technology has made us to stop to think. Stop thinking. Because with thinking, you need to sit down, you and your Lord. Nothing else. No other distraction. You doing wrong things in the past, they pull you out, you understand. You are ashamed, you understand. You're running to fix yourself, you're falling a little bit here and there. They say, don't do that. You say, tamam, you pull yourself back. Good. Because Allah is saying, if you make real tawbah, asking for real happiness, understanding what you did, why you did, and stopping yourself from doing it again, Allah will not only erase the wrong things that you did, the crimes that you did, He will turn all the wrong things into good things, as if you did so much good, and He will reward you for it. We do wrong things, we're running to fix, we're remembering, keeping it aside. We're not happy with that. How this happens then? This wrong thing becomes right and Allah rewards us for it. Especially like this in this community, you see someone going through something similar. Someone who is new, going through something similar you have gone through. You may pull him aside, you may speak, and you may say, I walk this way. This is what works for me. I'm not telling you to do anything, but this is how it is. You will use your negative experience in a very positive way. The negative experience then becomes a good action, and Allah will reward you for it. May Allah forgive us, inshallah, in this month. Don't forget to recite good astaghfirullah and to renew your shahadat, inshallah. Increase your sadaqah every day. Don't leave your homes without reciting 21 ayatul kursi, giving sadaqah. And don't run around, jump around, be active too much in these days. Pull yourself back a little bit. Wait for the month of Rabiul Awal to appear. Prepare yourself for the month of Rabiul Awal. In reality, the month of Safar is supposed to prepare us for it, yes. Because after every difficulty there comes ease, and Allah is swearing it. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. This is the month of difficulty. We wait for the month of ease to come, inshallah. The month of the birth of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. وَمِنَ اللَّهُ تَوْفِيقًا.